today's video is going to be about how I tamed Banba, my veiled chameleon. This is obviously him right here. He's pretty chill right now, but I mean, as a baby, he was really feisty, and something that I want to make known is that if you're looking to get a chameleon, veiled chameleons are known to be the most feisty chameleons of all. They have so much attitude, and they are adorable as babies. They're so small, but as they get bigger, that attitude can still remain intact. So it's important to understand that they are going to get feisty, and it's something that you need to be aware of before getting one of these guys. So when I got Banba, when he was just a baby, he was really feisty, and of course he was so small. But something that is very important with taming a veiled chameleon is just building trust, and you do that with food. So I would hand feed him. It's important to make that association with the chameleon that you are the one giving them their food, because otherwise they're just gonna see you as strictly a threat, and you don't want that, because that's why they're all feisty and scared. They're just scared. They're just trying to protect themselves, just like any other animal that's defensive. So once you build that trust with them and start feeding them food, they'll actually like you, and they'll be wanting to come to you because they know that they're gonna get snacks from you. So something that a lot of people have trouble with their veiled chameleons is getting them out of their enclosure, because they can be cage aggressive. They just don't want people reaching toward them. They hate it. They think that they're going to get injured or that the human is going to hurt them. So obviously you don't want that to happen. And what I did with Banba when he was a baby was that I would just hand feed him crickets every single day. And then eventually, after he was accustomed to feeding from me, I would actually, I'm gonna let you go because I need to explain this. So I would put my arm into his enclosure, kind of like this, and I would hold the cricket all the way back here, so that way his tongue wouldn't reach that far, and he would have to walk all the way onto my arm to be able to eat that cricket. And then as soon as he is out on my arm, he doesn't care anymore, because he's out of the enclosure. He's not cage aggressive anymore. Usually once you get these guys out, they calm right down and they're totally chill, just like him. He was actually feisty when I was taking him out just now, just to get him out of his enclosure, and now that he's out, he doesn't really care, and he's just looking for places to climb. So if you are going to be going into the enclosure, whether you have to clean it or do something, whatever you need to do, and you need to get that chameleon out of the enclosure, you need to make sure that you aren't reaching above their head, because in the wild, I mean, there are things above them that are going to be trying to come and get them, and it scares them and they don't like it. So you always want to approach them from underneath like this. And again, that's the same way you're going to want to be hand feeding them their crickets and their food too, because then they won't see you as a threat, and they'll see that you're offering them something, and it'll completely change their demeanor. So if you are looking to get a chameleon, veiled chameleons are the most common. They're so cheap, they're so easy to find, but they do have the most attitude. If you're willing to put the work in and just take your time with them and have patience in taming them down and getting accustomed to them. Oh God, he's grabbing my ear. Ooh, sorry, I really hate things touching my ears. Where are you going? Anyway, so the veiled chameleons, again, do have the most attitude, so keep that in mind. If you're looking for a different chameleon that you think would be better for you and doesn't have as much attitude, panther chameleons are known to be way more chill, and they aren't really as aggressive. Veiled chameleons just have the most attitude. It's just a known fact. That's just how they are. Jackson's chameleons are also pretty common. They're also really cheap. So they actually have less attitude, but again, every single animal behaves differently and has their own personality, so no matter what, you need to be aware that there is a chance that it may have an attitude, so keep that in mind before purchasing one and then deciding you don't like it and you want to get rid of it. So I personally love veiled chameleons. I think that they're just so gorgeous, and I think that people should give them a chance, and they do have a lot of attitude, but it's part of their charm, I think. They're just spunky, and they like what they like. They have their own opinions. So they're definitely really cool, but don't just purchase one thinking it's going to be a little sweetheart, because they are definitely sassy. So just keep that in mind. There are ways to work with them, and they could calm down just like Banba, just as long as you build trust with them. So if you already have a veiled chameleon, or you know someone that has one and they're having these issues with a really feisty chameleon, I hope that these little tips can help you, because it definitely worked for Banba, and he's so chill now and he's awesome. So I hope that this video was helpful for so much for watching.